Today we are looking at the Max Linux 12 or Mad Red Linux 12. So here is the boot menu. So here you should be seeing the from F1 to F6 options. So the language only available is in Espanol. You don't get any English language or anything like that. So this is a educational Linux distribution. So let me go with the options. F12 for the language, which is Espanol, and F3 for the keyboard. So I'm going to choose the United States of America, F4 for the mods, and F5 for the accessibilities, and F6 other options. So here you can boot with the live boot, and also there is like an installation. Always go with the live boot first. So this is a education Linux distribution. So I'm going to boot it in the live boot. So the Max Linux is with the full form, you can call it like a Mad Red Linux 12. So the country of origin it's from the Spain. The desktop environment you get is the Mad desktop environment, and it's based on Ubuntu 22.04.5 LTS Jammy Jellyfish. So right now I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is a VMware with a 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So the live boot credentials is the password for the live boot is madred. Just type in like a user with the madred and it automatically logs you in. I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So the booting process will take a bit of time here, like a maximum of 2 minutes or maybe under 1 minute. So it completely depends on separate Linux distributions. Whatever you try, the different Linux distributions, it's going to take a bit time, more or less. So I already tested this distribution. I didn't check everything. I just saw the booting process. It took like a minute and 20 seconds or 30 seconds like that. So I'm going to wait for the desktop layout to be loaded. So let's wait for a few more seconds and we should be seeing our desktop layout. And I'm going to show you all the changes. So the official website didn't open. I don't know why it's not working, but let's try it again. I tried every VPN servers, but it didn't even load up the desktop layout, not the desktop layout, not the website. So here we should be seeing the desktop. And also when compared to the bare metal, the virtual machines user experience will be a bit weird because there will be some minor hiccups here and there. Only some distros, not every distros. Some distros will take like a bit of high resources, and also a bit there will be some minor lags in the virtual machines. Only in the VMware, in the VirtualBox, there will be no issues. In my PC, this is how it's going to work. I tried like a few distributions. This is the common things I found it out, and that's the reason I'm mentioning it again. So there will be no issues for some distros, but there will be some rare distros there will be having some issues. So here we have the desktop layout with Espanol language. So keep it in mind that the installation in the bare metal or the user experience in the bare metal will be a bit better. So I'm going to open the first, let me change the display settings and we can go through all the other things. So we need to change it on our own. Usually it's going to change automatically in the VMware, but some distros will do this type of things. So let me go with the administration. We need to find the display settings here. So let me go to the hardware. Let me find the display settings. My monitor is like a 1920 into 1080 resolution. So I'm going to choose the resolution here. Here is my display resolution, and I'm going to click on apply. There will be a bit of sound like this one. So you need to understand these common things. There is like a notification sounds. And also whenever you try some desktops or the distros, there will be some issue like this in the live boot. So here is the welcome screen, just the blank screen. So when you find this type of issues, so the dock or the panel should be on the top, in the bottom here, in the center of the bottom, but you should be seeing the weird thing here. So I'm going to log out, and as soon as you log out, the dock will be on the bottom side. So let me show you. Let me click on logout, and the user credentials I already mentioned. Just type in like a madrid. So here is how it looks in the login screen. Some options, United States keyboard, the time, and the power options here. So I'm going to type in like a madrid. That's it. Click on enter. So it automatically logs you in. You just need to type in username. You don't need to type in like a passwords or anything like that. And your panel or the dock will be fixed automatically, as you can see. So this is the same tip in every distribution. If anything happens to the dock, if it's turned like a weird option or a weird position here, you just need to log out and it will be on the dock. So there will be different username and password, so you need to understand these common things. And I think this is like a welcome screen, just the blank white screen. So I'm just going to close everything. So let's find the system monitor to see the CPU and the RAM consumption, and we can go through all the other things. Let me find the, so we need to find the system monitor here, and because of some different language I need to find the icons through the icons instead of the language. So I think these are all the applications you get. There are like a lot of content creating applications, games, a lot of important things available in this distribution. So it's kind of like a education Linux distribution. They mention it as like a education distribution. So it should have every important applications. So let me find the system monitor. Here is our system monitor. So let's make it bigger. So about the system, here is the Jammy Jellyfish 22.04.5 LTS Jammy Jellyfish based on Ubuntu. So if you didn't watch this video, I already made a video of the Ubuntu 22.04.5. So there is a video, and also Noble Numbed. There are all the videos available in my channel because I made like a 3000 videos of every type of Linux distribution. And the kernel version you get is 6.8. So here you should be getting the kernel. I'm going to show you all the important information as soon as we open the browser. So let's first check all the important things. So memory is 7.7 GB. My CPU is i5 1240p. The Mac desktop environment version. So these are all the processes running right now. And I didn't touch anything other than some display settings. So here is our CPU graph, pretty much stable. So we need to run like a 60 seconds or a minute. So this is the 60 seconds box or a minute box. So when you run like a 60 seconds or a minute, you should be seeing the graph almost like a down to completely 10-15%. So then it's called like a stable release or a stable ISO file. Sometimes in the development versions or the beta versions, the graph will be like a kind of crazy. So that's the reason I always mention you to check the CPU and RAM. So RAM, it's consuming like a 1 GB. So in the bare metal, when you install it, it's going to be consuming a bit lesser also, like a 300-400 MB. You don't see a maximum difference there. You just be seeing just a few difference. So this is how the CPU and RAM. And here is the about of the system monitor 1.26.0. So I'm going to keep the system monitor here on the right side, so you can see throughout the video, and you can judge it on your own. You don't need to even get my advice or anything here. So let me open the terminal and let me type in like some commands to get some distro information like audio, graphics, everything, and we can go through other things. So let's check the about information or the terminal 1.26.0. Let me type in neofetch and hit enter. So the neofetch is not pre-installed, so let me copy it and let me paste it. So there is no password, so it doesn't ask any password here. So it's going to take a few seconds or maybe near to the minute. Just type in yes. So if you have like an English language, you need to type in Y. For the Espanol or some different language, it's going to say here. So you just need to use the whatever the alphabet it asks. So in the installer, maybe the language selection will be available, I guess. So I'm going to show you in the installation. And if we had like an English language, you can try this distribution. So it's an education Linux distribution. It's already mentioned here, Educa Madrid. So here is the information. So the country of origin, I already said it's from the Spain. Desktop environment, you already saw the Mac desktop environment. What it is based on is Ubuntu Jammy Jellyfish. So I don't know, it's a well-known distribution in the other countries, but in the Spain it should be a well-known distribution. So it's clearly up to you to try it or not. So if you want to try it, you can try it in the live boot or in the virtual machines. But if you're trying to install it as like a main PC or on a work PC, try to get all the information from the official website and do all the research. If you're satisfied with the privacy and everything, then go with the installations, or don't just blindly go and watch someone's video and try to install any type of distros. Always do your research, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So here we completed the neofetch. Let me type in neofetch. So here we have the operating system as a Ubuntu Mate, Ubuntu Mat 22.04.5 LTS. The Linux kernel 6.8, uptime is almost 19 minutes. Packages 223397 dpkg. Shell bash version 5.1.16. My monitor resolution 1920 x 1080. Desktop environment Mat, window manager Metacity Marco. Theme Maravita. Icons Pepperus Light. Terminal Mat terminal. The fonts, my CPU, the RAM, everything is in front of you. So let me type in inxi -sv8. Just type in like this and you should be getting all the distro information. So let's go through one by one, like audio, graphics, everything, and we can go through other things. The first thing is here is the system host. It says like a max 12 or Mad Red Linux 12. The kernel already mentioned 64-bit. Compiler not available. Desktop environment mat. Here is the Planck. Marco version is 1.26.0. LightDM version is 1.30. Distro it says like a Ubuntu Jammy Jellyfish. Here is like a VMware. My RAM 7.71 GB. Available is 7.7, and I'm using 8 GB of RAM. So used is 1.24 GB. So this is like a VMware information which is clearly unnecessary for the video. So that's the reason I'm just ignoring those things. My CPU, which I already said like a 3 times. Here is like a flags, vulnerabilities, which is also unnecessary for the video. And about the graphics, VMWGFX version is 2.20. Display is X11. Server Xorg version is 1.21.1.4. Compositor Marco version is 1.26.0. My present resolution of the display is 1920 x 1080. Here are some available resolutions like a 1280 x 800. There are a lot of available resolutions here. OpenGL version is 4.3. LLVM version is 4.3. Sorry, here is the LLVM. Mesa version is 23.2.1. And what else we have? The audio information. Here is the ELSA. Pulse audio version is 15.99.1. Pipewire version is 0.3.48. Here is like a network, Bluetooth, and drives, partitions, repos, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. But if anything is important for you, just pause the video and read everything. And also if I miss anything, you can just pause the video and read everything here. Here are the process 302, uptime is 19 minutes. Wake up 77, init system D version is 249. And compiler GCC version is 11.4.0. You don't get the latest. Shell bash version 5.1.16, and inxi version is 3.3.13. So let me type in final command cat /etc/issue. So here you should be seeing max 11.0. I don't know why it says like a max 11.0. The version is max 12. Here you can see on the desktop, I already showed you in the neofetch and everything, but it says like a max 11.0. Let me close it. And before the installation, let's check all the pre-installed applications. So here are all the pre-installed applications. And also whenever you touch on the application menu, there will be some notification sound like a hitting on drums. So these are all the available applications. For the education, they have like a plenty of education applications. So if you want to try it, you can try it. If you like education, or a student, or a person who loves to read something or about the education thing, here are a lot of applications. You can go and try this distribution. For the live boot, you can try it, but for the installation, it's better to do all the research, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation. So you get a bunch of applications. There is filled of a lot of applications like a content creating applications for the YouTube, Photoshop, editing, everything is a lot of applications are available right here. Kinda like a endless OS, but that distribution is kind of different, but this distribution is kind of different. This distribution has a lot of important applications. That distribution has like a cooking and different. Those are completely two different distributions, but they are good with the both. So this one is good for the other applications, that one is for different applications. So both have filled with a lot of applications. That's the thing I am trying to explain here. So here are all the applications, lot of applications. The only desktop environment you get is the mat. You don't get any other type of desktop environments. So let me open the browser, and I'm going to try to open the website. It doesn't work, but I'm going to try it somehow. So let's wait for a few more seconds. Usually the Firefox browser going to take like a maybe maximum 15 seconds. So here is all the information about the Max Linux or the Mad Red Linux. So you need to translate this language. So here is the language. Let's first check the about, and I'm going to open all the applications. So you get the 131.0.3. So the latest version of the Firefox is 132, but you get the 131.0.3, which is still the latest version. So now I'm going to open all the important tabs, and I'm going to continue from there. So here I opened every important tabs. So this is the official website. Just type in like a Mad Red Linux, and first link will be the obviously the official website. So in order to go to the official website, just click on the link, and it doesn't work, as you can see. So it's not going to open the website. So I downloaded the ISO file from the DistroWatch website. So that's the reason. So for the Wikipedia, here is like a Wikipedia, what is like a Mad Red Linux. Here you should be getting all the information. So about the Linux kernel, we have the 6.8 Linux kernel. So here are all the Linux kernels available. So the main line right now is 6.12 RC6. Stable version is 6.11.6, and also the 6.10.14, which is end of life. And here are all the long-term versions. And about the releases, here is like all the description of whatever it is called. Stable, long-term, mainline, pre-patch, everything will be here. In order to get the kernel information, you just need to type in like a 5.6.19, and you should be getting all the information. And here is all the other things like a Linux kernel and everything. And here you can see, so the official website still didn't open. So there is an issue. So connection failed again. So the website doesn't work. So here is some information of Mad Red Linux. So you just need to copy and change it to the Google Translate, change it to your own language. So I'm going to try. So let's find the websites. Let me paste it. So I need to change it to the English, detect the language. Let me change it to the English. Let's try. So it's going to take a few seconds. Here is some information. If you know the Espanol, you can read it from right here, or else you can change it to the English. So I hope it is going to change some news here. So Max is called like a Mad Red Linux and free open operating system for education. Here is some information. What is like a Mad Red Linux? Here is complete information. If you want to download, you can download. So the what's new in the Max 12.5.2. Here is all the information. And let's try the downloads here and access the Max download. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Does it work or not? I don't know. So let's wait for a few more seconds. So there are a lot of applications available here. So that's a good thing for the education. You don't need to install anything, and it's going to still take a lot of time. So in order to download the ISO file, it's better to go with the DistroWatch website. You can download from there, or else if you go to the official website, it doesn't work like this. So there is no downloading starting here. And also for the news, you can go with the news here. If you want to check the news, you just need to go back here. So it's not going to download the ISO file. So you just go to some information here. If you want to get some information, here is complete information. And about the Max news, let's try the Max news. Here is some tools and everything. So if you want to try it, you can try it. Download the ISO file, as I already said. Go to the DistroWatch, and you should be getting the ISO file there. So this is how it's going to perform. Let me try the installation. Let's see whether we have different installation style or anything like that, or else just some Mad desktop environment installation. So let's wait for a few more seconds. And here are some desktop features like date and time, volume, power options. If you want to configure the power options, you can configure that. So I kept everything as default. I didn't change anything or edit anything here. About the accessibilities, and I don't know what it is. So here is like some kind of different things. And about the installation, so it's taking a bit of time here. So here you can see the installer, and it doesn't properly work. So you just need to wait for a few more seconds and it may fix maybe. So it's kind of weird because it's taking a bit of minor lag. It's not because of the CPU or anything. I don't know why, maybe some issues or bugs or anything like that. So there is no crash till now, so that's a good thing. And here is some different language. Let's try to continue. I hope we have some English language selection here in the installation, or else. So I don't think there is no English language here. So that's the other thing here. So when you click on continue, it's going to create a user account and it's going to install. So the basic installer is not same as the Mac desktop environment. So when you try to open the installer in the Mac desktop environment, the common Mac desktop environment, you should be having like a keyboard selection, language selection and everything. But in this installer of the Mad Red Linux, you don't get anything. You just need to install in the Espanol language. So that's a weird thing. Okay, because the distro should be available only for those who live in the Spain language, or in the Spain, sorry. But we are trying it. We don't have any other language. So if you know the Espanol, you can try it, or else if you still want to try it, you can try it. It's an education Linux distribution. You get a bunch of application. That's a good thing. But if they gave like a language selection, that would be a good idea. But whatever it is, so this is how it's performing. And in the installation, when you install it, it should be working a bit better maybe. It's a Mac desktop environment. It's based on Ubuntu, so that's a good. There will be some good user experience when you install it on the PC. So always, as always, I already said like a 2 times, 3 times, but I'm going to say it finally. Always get all the information on your own, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation, or else you can switch to another distributions. So this is a good Linux distribution in my point of view for the education side, because it's filled with a lot of good applications. So that's a good work. When you go with the education, there are like a lot of applications here. So you can launch the applications and try it on your own, like a radio and everything, like a maybe maps and everything. So I think it's like a algebra, I guess. Here is like a music, and I don't know what it is. So here are all the applications. So let me open few applications. Let me open the Blender. Let's open few applications and see whether there will be any lag or any crashes. So I'm going to open a bunch of applications. And here are some shortcuts maybe. So it's not going to open any of the website because it's not working. I already tried everything. So let's wait for a few more seconds. Let's try to open a few more applications here. For example, like Inkscape, Krita. So there are a lot of good applications for content creations. So like a Krita, photo editing, video editing. There are a lot of applications like a Blender also for the graphics and everything. So GIMP, it's filled with a lot of good applications. So I'm satisfied with the distribution, but only thing is the language thing. And also about the privacy, I don't know about any privacy, so better try to get all the information if you want to try it. And let's check the system monitor and see how the CPU and RAM is going. And there is like a major lag now. It's not working. So it's completely frozen. So that's the reason you need to do a stress test like this, like opening a few applications. So I have like a 8 GB of RAM and my CPU is i5 1240p, which can run almost every Linux distribution. But some distributions will have some issues like this one. So till opening applications, everything was working fine. Maybe just because of all the applications at opened, so in the single click. So that's the reason there will be some lag. But other than that, I didn't have any issues. So let's try to switch the applications. Nothing working, just some notification sound. Other than that, nothing is working. So I already showed every important information about like a audio, graphics, and some other information like a kernel, everything. So there is literally nothing left, and the final thing was the stress test, and it completely failed. So I don't know how it's going to work in the when you install it. But if you ask me about the system requirements, I don't have any information about the system requirements because they didn't provide anything from the official website, because the official website didn't even open. I tried many times with all the servers. I tried all the VPN. It didn't let me even go with the any of these things. So this is how it performed, and it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. So for the education side, I'm going to say it's a good distribution, but for the other people, I don't know how it's going to work. People who live in the Spain going to love this distribution, because if I lived in the Spain, so they have like a lot of good applications. You have got all the applications like that. So there is no such thing like it's my favorite distribution or anything like that. It has like a good applications and also the desktop environment, and it's based on Jammy Jellyfish. So they have done good work, but the only things like language selections, and also in the at least in the installation, if they had given the English language, there will be a lot of people who love to see this distribution and can try this distribution if they had like an English language. But this is how it's going to have like a default. You don't get any language selections, you just get the Espanol. So this is how it performed. It's clearly up to you to try it or not. It's your opinion. And I already set the password or the live boot credentials. You just need to type in like a Madrid, and that's the only thing you need to type in the username. It automatically logs you in. So that's the end of the video, I guess. And I'll be posting daily 2 videos, but some days there are no topics, so that's the reason I'm just going to post like a single video today. So if we had any topic, then I'm going to post 2 videos daily without missing. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.